Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to display data from database onto our PHP index.php file. Okay, it will look something like this. Now we are going to delete everything from here and I'll show you what I did. Body closing. Okay, so first of all, I downloaded a framework called Bootstrap. So if you just go to Google and said Bootstrap 4 and take the CDN, which is the content delivery network, just take the first link you see, this one, copy it and paste it in your header section. Okay, and save it. Now you already have a bootstrap, so now what we need to do is we need to create a container, a div container. So a shortcut for that would be div container, but you can manually write this. I'm using VS Code, makes it easy. So once we do that, let's go to the bootstrap and look for a table. Okay, table, something like this. Let's copy this and then paste it inside here, and let's see. Okay, we have something like this. Okay, so let me remove this successful connection. Let me ignore it for now. This is from the config file. I'm gonna comment it, and then it's much better. Okay, so now all of this is static. All of this is static. Okay, you see. So if we add another row, let's say we say Musa, and let's see, it's number 3. We didn't change this, but you can see it's all static. Now instead of adding the content on the manually, we can dynamically access these data from the database. Okay, now what we need to do is, we already have our database, and let me delete this table first. Let me drop this table. Okay, so I'm going to create a new table inside the database school. Okay, I'm gonna call it people. Okay, let me put all small letter people, and it's gonna have an ID, which is 1, first name, last name, and age. So 4 columns. Okay, remember the ID is going to be automatically incremented, so we're going to click on this AI. Okay, automatic increment. Okay, and then the ID, we're going to say it's ID, the name is ID, and the type is an integer, and the length, I think we can leave it blank. Yeah, but let's say 10. First name, and it's going to be a varchar. The character length, let's say 20, and the last name is also going to be a varchar, and let's say 20 also, and the last age is going to be an integer, and let's say 4. Okay, so let's save this. Okay, now let's put in some information. Let's insert some dummy data. Okay, so remember this ID, because it is the primary key, it's going to be auto incremented. You don't have to put anything. Okay, so I'm gonna say Buba Tamba, and then 20, and then I have Aisatu Jabi. Is that the way you spell Jabi? 16, and then insert a new row. Okay, let me just first run this. We have 2 inserted row ID 2, so we have 2 data in our database, 2 rows. So let's add another 2. Let's say Binta, Maroon 25. Let's say Kadi Fatih, let's say 12. Okay, and we have 4 data. Okay, now what we are going to do next is we're going to remove this static data and call on these rows from the database. Okay, now first what we need to do is it's quite simple actually. So we remove everything from here, and remember, from our config file that we included here, we already established the connection to the database. Okay, and our connection object, you can call it, is this. Okay, don't forget that. So now what we are going to do, we are going to have a PHP opening tag here, PHP opening tag, and close it right quick. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to have a query. Okay, let's say our PHP query, let's just call it query. Okay, query SQL, it can be any name. Okay, and then let's write our query. The SQL query to select everything from the database is select all. This means all from the table name, which is people. Okay, we want to select everything from people. Okay, now once we select it, let's get the results. Okay, into the results section. Now what we need to do, we're going to say mysqli underscore query. Okay, and this particular function sticks in the, is it the connection first or the query? I think it's the connection, and then the query. The query name here is SQLi. We could have just written all of this thing inside here, but it's neat and nice this way. Okay, and then that's it. Now we want to, because this is going to be an array, we have more than 3, we have four rows. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to make a loop, while loop, and then we're going to save the individual rows in a row. Okay, it's equals to results. Okay, and now we are going to fetch the row. This is a method in PHP. Okay, so now whilst we do that, what we're going to do now, because in our case we know we have 4 rows, but in actual life you wouldn't know. It's going to be dynamic. Anytime you add user data, it's going to automatically add up. Okay, more files, more data. So now what we do is, remember, you can add PHP tag anywhere in your HTML. So let us close this one for now. Okay, and take this thing, cut it and paste it here, and then, because this is an opening already, a closing, so let's give it an opening PHP. Okay, so inside each of these we are going to have an opening and a closing PHP, and then let me do that first, opening and closing PHP, and then we are going to echo, means we're going to print out the individual row that of the data that has been selected. Okay, so for example, let's say row, because it's in array, remember it's in array, and arrays, you know, the indexing starts from 0. So the first item, which is going to be this one, this one is ID. Okay, we could write ID, or let's just use the array indexing. Okay, ID, first name, last name, and age. Okay, so the first item is going to be 0, and we need to echo it. Okay, so we are going to copy paste and do similar things for all of these. Okay, and then this is going to be 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Okay, so the last index of an array is n-1. So let's see, I hope it works. Let's refresh, and it works. Okay, yeah, that was it. Let's end this video now.